a store a stranger would trust with 700 Rand, the psychology behind it and how to do that, right? So Shopify setup essentials. So you're obviously going to start on the basic plan, which is $1 per month for your first 3 months. So month one, $1, month two, $1, month three, $1. And then after that, it's $20 a month, which is $479. So they give you a good 3 months, to get your business running and up and going and stuff like that. Obviously, your currencies in ZAR. Checkout is optional. Shipping zones, their legal pages. Honestly, you don't need to know like these things in depth because I'm going to show you guys how to create like how to use AI to create these things and have it all set up already. But the very important thing is this thing over here, right? Payments. So how you will accept payments on your website or on your store is through these companies called payment gateways. I'm sure you've heard of company Yoko, you've heard of Ozo, you've heard of Payfast, probably Paystack. There's many payment gateways, Stitch, Stripe, all of them, right? I'm sure you've heard of them. So those are the companies that basically process payments. What their systems do is their systems track for things like fraud, for a whole lot of things, right? And they receive the money from the customer, and then after certain amounts of time, then they release the money to you. So these companies don't 95% of them don't charge any onboarding or sign up fee because they charge you per transaction, right? So yeah, in terms of pay fast, I think they're the most trusted in SA for me because their customer support is amazing. They will always respond and it's very easy to reach them. They'll even reach out to you whenever there's an issue. In terms of Yoko is also really good. Paystack is also really good. Problems with those two, though, is that Yoko is very difficult to get accepted in the first place as a sole proprietor, and they shut you down without warning, right? Without telling you, or without even giving you a chance to explain yourself, right? Paystack, they can go back and forth with you via emails, but they have just a tendency of making it a struggle to also sign up and shut down, right? But obviously, in my communities and my paid communities, I really dive deep into how you get accepted in the very first place with these payment gateways and how to make sure you stay accepted and you keep them because these have like if you don't have a payment gateway, your business is not running. How are people going to pay you if you ask them to send an EFT or whatever the case may be? People are just going to be like, fuck that, I'm going to move on to the next business that doesn't need me to do that can just click Apple Pay and it goes through, or Google Pay and it goes through, or I just enter a quick code and then my credit card details pops up and we're good to go. So yeah, you're gonna need that. Every store needs these pages, right? So obviously, the AI tools that we're going to be using automatically has these pages that it structures, right? So I'm going to show you guys all of that also in a bit. And then benefits before features, always, right? So this is the golden rule. People do not buy what a product is. They buy what their life looks like after they own this product. You didn't pay for this workshop because it's a workshop. You paid for this workshop because my content gave you the ideology that this is something that you can do to increase the security and the stability in your financial life. If you look very closely, I don't go and promise people Lamborghinis or millions or hundreds of thousands. I promise people realistic things that every genuine human being who can put in some sort of work in this field can attain and can achieve. And I believe that's enough, right? And clearly you believe that's enough, which is the realistic way to go. Some level of delusion is important in business, but you also need to be realistic in like So a feature-based website is weak, but a benefit-based website is what sells. A feature-based website looks like made of titanium alloy or 20,000 milliamp battery capacity. Nobody knows what the hell 20,000 milliamp battery capacity is. Nobody cares what 20,000 milliamp battery capacity is. They just know that it can last 2 days sharp. If I charge once, it lasts a whole day. Cool. Great. If I charge and I use it heavily, it lasts 20 hours. Awesome, right? That's what people want to know. or ergonomic handle design. Nobody knows what that is or what that exactly means. Yes, they are your tech savvy people here and there, or very niche people in these niches that can know what they're about. But remember, you're trying to sell the benefit because you're targeting emotion, right? When selling, that's what selling actually is. Selling is being able to emotionally blackmail somebody through what you believe this is into buying what you want them to buy. That's what selling is. And obviously, if you're doing it morally correctly, whatever they will then get out of said emotional blackmail will be beneficial to them as well and add value to their lives in whatever way, right? So at the end of the day, it's not really blackmail. It's a good thing because it's an exchange of value. I need cash from you, you need a power bank from me. So we're exchanging value, which is morally sound, it's morally correct. Right, so a benefit based website sounds like built to last a lifetime, no more replacing it every year, rather than made of titanium alloy. Another benefit sounds like charges your phone twice fully without an outlet inside, rather than 20,000 milliamp per hour battery capacity. Or your back will thank you after the first week, rather than ergonomic handle design, right? And you can tell that by even just mentioning benefits on their own, you can kind of figure out what the product is without actually knowing the product. Because the average person hearing ergonomic handle design would think to themselves, what the hell is this thing even? But if you can hear something like your back will thank you after the first week, you can already tell automatically that this is either a chair or some sort of posture corrector thing or whatever, right? So the moment you can kind of remove as much friction from the prospect's brain, the more you can remove as many questions as possible from their mind, from whatever, the more you can remove the objections that they have about the product, about your business, the easier it is to sell. And the best way to do that is to speak in language and cadence and tonality in ways that the average person will understand and that will strike them very emotionally, right? By solving their problem and showing the benefit, the improvement in their life from whatever it is that you're selling to them. Right. So yeah, lead with the outcome, support it with the feature, never the reverse. Right. So yeah, the 9 part product page, this again, like I said, AI basically does this for you. Awesome. So now we're going to do the live demo, right? Writing a full product listing. So this is where I'm going to show you guys how to actually like build, a cool website, right? So we're going to use a tool that I love very much called Lovable, and also in conjunction with Claude. But at first, we can just start off with Lovable on its own, right? Because and using it with Claude, actually, this might actually be a really good opportunity to show you my prompts thing with Claude that I was talking about, right? So here's Lovable. This is what here we are. Okay, I think I was getting built today. Okay, I'll sort that out, but I think I have the full version here. You see, you usually get about 100 credits, but I think I got the one with a lot more. Hey, let me not show you guys my stuff. With a lot more credits and stuff. So at the beginning, I think they give you like 5 credits per month for free. And then when you do the paid version, they give you an additional 100 per month. So you can build a lot of websites, versus your traditional website builders that you'll see in your YouTube videos, like your Atlas or your build your .store or launch your, yeah, those type of things, right? The reason why I love Lovable is because you can customize it in any shape or form that you want. You can customize your website literally by speaking to the tool, right? So I'm going to show you guys something now. Let me just open up Claude. So now we're going to build a very simple website for, let's see, one of the products that we used in the tool here. Let's do the waterproof large dog bed. Nah. Yeah, let's do that one. I'm just gonna copy the link for it, but let me first open up Claude so I can show you guys. It's just taking some time. I don't know why. Okay, it's opened up now. Oh, snap. Okay. Ah, awesome. It's opened up. Sorry about that. I think there was just too many things open and stuff. Okay. So, Claude, remember I told you guys about this awesome AI tool that should probably pay me for how amazing I speak about them. But yeah, I've done this little thing which you can literally just Google like how to create a skill on Claude, right? So basically what that is that it's a skill on Claude is basically like something that you tell it to do once that it's going to constantly remember how to do this thing, right? So you come here, you go to skills, perfect prompt, right? So if you can read what the skill is, turns whatever the user just said, however casual, rambling, spoken aloud, or half formed, into a single polished copy and pastable prompt delivered as a text file. Use the skill whenever the user says anything like perfect prompt, make that a prompt, turn that into a prompt, prompt me, write the prompt for that, optimize this prompt, or invokes the skill by name after describing a task. Also use it if the user describes something they want, Claude or any AI to do, and then ask for it to be written up as as instructions rather than executed. The user's normal pattern is speak casually about what they want, invoke the skill, receive the finished prompt as a file, and then obviously the rest you get the point, right? So what this does, remember, is it basically creates the perfect tonality and language that this AI can use to speak to any AI, right? So what we're going to do here, I wanted to speak, but I think typing would be better because my current mic is connected to the Zoom. I don't want to mess up that connectivity. So let's just say using perfect prompt, write me a prompt for, for, hey, school, for lovable to build me a landing page for this product. Oh man, let me get the link. Mm, there we are for this product. Right. So the only thing with Lovable here, right, is that obviously you would need to connect it to your Shopify because how I use Lovable is that it builds the front end, the website, and then the Shopify as the back end to process the orders because Shopify is just a really, really, really powerful and amazing and very easy to use back end system that helps you control your customer management, your um, inventory, your products, your stock, like everything, right? That's why Shopify for me is the perfect back end. But there's still the imperfect front end when building the websites is very limited in terms of the themes that you've got. And also for the apps that, provide for the AI app tools on Shopify that allow you to create custom websites, which are not really custom websites because every third website that I see running ads on Instagram or whatever these days is using the same template, right? So this is the benefit with Lovable as well, that you can like use your own, you can have your own custom templates, right? Like your own look, your store won't look like your next person's store, even if all you guys from the same workshop or from the same, mentor build your websites, all of them are going to look somewhat different because you're not just using one template from me, right? Unlike some people. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. Let me not pull. Let me not shake any, ruffle any feathers. So yeah, write me a prompt for Lovable to build me a landing page for this product, right? So the reason why I actually mentioned the whole Shopify backend is because then you would first need to add your product on Shopify, right? And you'd put your image products on that product, right? Which is literally the only thing that you'd have to do. And then once you build the thing on Lovable, once you build the website or landing page on Lovable, you can just tell it to pull the images from your Shopify. Which is why chances are when we do this, is you're probably going to see AI generated images, which is also fine, but it's a bit better for just your control to do the method of adding the product first on Shopify and adding your own images or whatever images that you get so that Lovable pulls its own images. Reason being is it won't pull images from Takealot or any other website because it's wrong, apparently. I don't know. But yeah, write me a prompt for Lovable to build a landing page for this product. There we go. Make sure to do a deep research into this product, analyze customer reviews across the internet and make the pain and yeah, make the pain points very visible and position us as the best possible candidate or the best possible solution for the problem that the customer could be facing that this product solves. But again, guys, remember you can just speak this, right, by just clicking here on Claude and you can literally just speak to it, which is a lot better for me. That's always what I do. Only reason I type today is because, like I said, my mic is connected to Zoom and I'm not in the mood for technical difficulties right now. So into that, right? So you'll see that Claude will do its thing, thinking about researching, and then it's going to load the perfect prompt skill, which is the skill that I taught it on how to prompt. Well, not taught it, but like it's the skill that Claude and I developed on how to prompt AI itself or any other AI perfectly. And the reason why I feel like this is very important and because it helps you save a lot of credits and money as well in the long run, right? Because, well, I don't think it's ever going to get to the point where you use up all your credits because they do give quite a lot of credits and the use cases need to be really big to use up, a lot of credits. Probably, when you're using Claude Code or Claude Core work on some really heavy tasks. But nevertheless, though, you also don't want to be redundant, right? So rather, speak to it in the language that it prefers to be spoken in, right? Which is just the structure of things, right? So we're gonna wait for it to give us the prompt. And while it does that, how are you guys enjoying this? Going well so far, very informative. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that a lot of people are learning a lot of new things as well. Um, yeah, I like that it's an eye opener. That's one of the best things that I could ever hear, you know? It's one of the best things I could ever hear. Ah, there we are. So it's given us a full prompt in clean structure on how AI would understand this. As you can see, normally you would never be able to come up with something like this on your own, you know? So it gives the exact description of what everything is. So the prompt that's going to give to Lovable, that we're going to paste in Lovable, build me a high conversing single page. Fine. So it understood. So we're going to copy that and then we're going to come onto Lovable and we're going to paste that entire prompt as is. All right. And then we're just going to run it. And then we will see what it can come up with. Right. Yeah. So, okay. It's very informative, learning a lot. Nice, nice. Super informative, worth the money. Definitely considering the one on one as well. Nice, nice, nice. I'm really glad you guys think that it's worth the money, or if you do believe that it's worth the money, because That's kind of one of the reasons why I took it to 997, because the first workshop was 497. I was like, you know what? I'm new to this workshop thing, let me. But then a lot of people really did say they got a lot of value. So some of them even felt like, damn, like some people, I didn't feel hard done by, because I was really, really grateful for the nice comments that, people gave from the first workshop. I think that was worth any amount of money. If I'm lying, give me a million now. Leave your comment. I'm joking. I'm joking. But no, man, it's like it's really refreshing, and it really helps me to keep going, to do these workshops, to learn more myself, so I can come give you guys more, because I feel like that belief or that value, making somebody feel something good, or making somebody feel like they've learned something, or that I've added some value in their life, to me that's golden, bro. Because when I die, God is not gonna ask me how much money did you make. He's gonna ask me how many lives did you impact. Versus, because I know already my sin list is long. All our sin list is long. So we're just saved by His grace, and we can just try to do the best that we can do, um, as we're alive. By impacting other people positively, by helping other people in the best way we can. I do wish that I could be doing these workshops for free, but unfortunately, people don't take free things seriously, man. So it would feel, I'd start feeling very resentful towards the business, towards the mission, because I'd feel like, I know for sure, because it has happened to me before, where I put in a lot of work into providing true value towards people, and they just never use it, you know? Like, and that's the biggest slap in the face for me, because you don't know how many hours I took preparing this thing. You don't know how many years it took to gain this knowledge, gather it, and structure it the way I've structured it. Whereas you're just gonna take it for free, and then it's gonna stay on your laptop, on your phone forever. So I've really learned that for people to really value things, you need to put a price on it. You need to put some sort of sacrificial lamb that they need to put down, for them to value this thing. So yeah, that's, you guys must blame the people that don't take things seriously. That's why I'm charging you 997. But I hope it's worth it. I hope you all think that 997 that you parted with is worth everything that you've learned so far, and that you will learn for the remainder of this call. So yeah. Yeah. I think, oh, it's done. Okay, I was about to start answering some questions in the meantime. Um but yeah, let's dive deeper into what Lovable has built for us. Let's see, Lovable, what have you done for us? Okay, arc. Okay, so obviously, like I said, sorry, remember before that the image, the parts where there's going to be images, it's going to be blank, because remember, it's not like the built-in thing of the system, like, doesn't allow it to pull images from like other websites, right? So this is what it's done for us, right? Already from the jump, you can see it doesn't look like your common e-commerce landing page, right? So we're gonna go through it slowly, the webstop version and then the mobile version, right? A very strong headline: the last dog bed you'll ever throw out. Look at that. One of the biggest pain points that people already have. So that's when you can see that Claude did do some research. It did dive down and looked at what are the problems that people may have when looking to buy a product like this. And one of the problems is that they don't want to keep buying different dog beds every few weeks or every few months, because dog will scratch it or bite it. They want some sort of product that will last. You can see that just from this headline, although we didn't do the product research ourselves, but I can already tell the reasoning or the pain point behind the specific thing, right? That's how you know you have a powerful headline and you have something that will speak to your audience, right? The last dog bed that you'll ever throw, made for South African dogs, already creates a lot of relativity to the consumer, right? A fully waterproof TPU barrier and high density orthopedic foam, so accidents, drool, and high fault winters never soak in, flatten out, or leave your dog stiff in the morning, right? Choose a size. whatnot, whatnot. R fill-in, obviously, all these places that say R fill-in, obviously, is things that you must tell, like it's data that you need to put in according to your product, which remember, again, you would put on the Shopify side of things because Lovable will pull that data from Shopify, right? So, I wanted to show you guys an example, a direct example from my own Shopify's, but I don't trust you guys. No, I'm kidding. It's just ish. I'm on my stores. I actually work with a partner. I have a partner that I work with, and we signed an NDA together to make sure that we don't use our Shopify's as a show off tool or anything like that, so that we can keep business, you know. So we signed. He made sure when I started my content stuff, he made the NDAs. Like one of the prerequisites is that you don't show the stores or anything to anyone. You know, you don't show sensitive stuff, right? So before they charge, and the charge on that is 2,500 rand if any of us breach it. So yeah, he can literally just file this in small claims court just to teach me a lesson, you know. And I like that because we keep each other accountable. We keep each other accountable through serious things. But as you can see, you know, you've bought this bed before, maybe twice, maybe three times. Here's what actually happened. The 6 a.m. patch, the pancake. So it gives you all the types of problems that, you know, you may encounter. And here's five. And every pet owner that or dog owner probably has come across one of these. So they only need one to grab them. And if the more of them they can relate to, the better or the easier the product begins to sell, right? And then here we have an amazing differentiating factor between ordinary dog beds and the Topica dog bed, right? In terms of waterproofing, odor, foam recovery, joint support, washing, grip, lifespan. Remember, all these are pain points that people, you know, are probably, that's the reason why they're probably looking for a new dog bed in the first place, because they were going through one of these problems, right? So if they're able to now, if they, let's say waterproofing, odor, grip, and lifespan are the biggest problems that maybe I'm going through with my dog, I'll definitely look at these and see that, okay, let me take a deeper look, right? 3 layers, one job. Now it's starting to speak about the benefits of the product. Remember, we spoke about, you know, the criterion or whatever in the earlier slides. Now you're getting to see it in real time, right? The importance of having tools and systems that understand the language, or rather the context of things, right? So, ooh, sorry about that. Can I add the pictures of the product along with the prompt on Lovable for it to generate the web store? Yes, you can actually put the images on Lovable itself so that it can put them where you want or wherever you need or whatever. That is also very possible. You can do that. You can do that. Yeah, everything you needed the last one to do, right? So it's basically saying that this one is better than what you've got. You know, again, diving deep down into the pain points and the solutions in them, right? Built for SA cold towels in June, muddy paws in November. So it shows, it understands also the seasonal changes, and you can see that this type of product is an everlasting product. You can see that it speaks about June, winter season, November, summer season, right? And all the benefits within the seasons. Owners who stopped throwing beds away. Now, this is the really powerful part as well, where you have testimonials, right? The nice thing about AI these days is that instead of having written testimonials, you can literally just go on TikTok and find videos about this product, and you have them as video testimonials, right? Yes, maybe the person didn't buy from your website, but they made a public video, and technically your website is a public platform. So yeah, you can get away with putting a few videos on there, or you can make some really cool AI generated content. I'm going to show you guys something, kind of breaching the NDA that I have with a client, but I made some really realistic and cool AI art content. So how to add the videos on Lovable, it's literally you prompt it. Remember, Lovable is literally like any AI tool. So you're going to come over here, you're going to tell it literally, I want you to add this image as the very first image on the website. Let me just quickly download the image so I can show you guys in real time. Um, damn, Take a lot got smart. Do they not allow you to download anymore? Okay, let me just screenshot it. There we are. Let me crop it real quick. Where's the cropping tool? There we go. Ah, there we go. Um, I'm just cropping it into like a nice square-ish image because that's usually like the standard for Shopify. A one-to-one. I know there's probably not going to be a perfect one-to-one. I know you guys can't see what I'm doing because I'm doing it on the other screen, but it's okay. You will see the light now. Okay, so back to my screen. The prompt is I want you to add this image as the very first image on the website. And then I'm gonna go find the image. Where did I say? Oh, desktop. Get the image over here, drag and drop it, and then run the prompt and see what it does, right? So, very nice question, but you see what I meant. I lost my train of thought now. I don't know what I was talking about. Well, I was talking about the videos and stuff in terms of testimonials, but okay, nevertheless, I'll get it back. Um, Here is the mobile look, right? So, nice type of movement. You can even add like animations and different cool type of things just by writing a prompt there on the left, right? And then it does all this for you. All right. So, yeah, your video reviews, and then try it in your home if your dog is just a little bit of, you know, this is basically like a guarantee, the guarantee section, right? So basically guaranteeing quick delivery, right? Guaranteeing, the trial, and then returns, making sure that, the customer will be able to do returns and stuff. Guarantee terms, example, 30 nights in home trial, full refund on the bed, recovery, return collection, whatever guarantee that you can give to kind of solidify and just grab the, customer and be like, okay, even if you buy this, right, we're not a scam. Here's some guarantee, here's some proof, right? Then you also have your SAQs because they could have different types of questions that they may need answered, right? So basically, the point of a landing page like this, or the point of a website, is I don't know if any of you guys have any experience in direct sales, right? In sales jobs. So jobs where like you literally go and speak to clients or recruit customers or whatever, and an example is something we've all experienced probably is that when you're walking at a mall that has a gym and then there's those stands, that Virgin Active stands with those people there, they come and talk to you, try to hand you flyers, try to convince you, that's a sales job, right? So basically in that instance, that person is the website of that business. He's the representative of that business for that specific moment in time, which means that every question that the customer or the prospect asks this person, any objection is what we call it in sales, that they ask this person, they should be able to answer it. So that's basically what your FAQs should do, and basically what your entire website and landing page should do, right? So as you go through it, you should also think about yourself that as a customer, what type of questions would I need answered? And you need to put that onto your website so that they can see and have that response. Because the last thing you need is that they come up with a question and they're not able to see the answer or some sort of solidifying factor on your website, and then they just leave, right? So one bid, then done, all that. There it is. Bob's your uncle. There's the end of the website. Well, landing page rather, which if you're doing a one product store, is probably the best way you'd go for, right? Literally, landing page is literally the same thing where you paid for this workshop, right? Built on this platform. Literally, now you know my secrets. But yeah. So right now, we are just waiting for this thing to do its thing in terms of adding the image. So I think now I can actually take some questions in terms of lovable only, according to what we're doing right now. Shoot. So when I ask for questions, that's when you guys don't want to ask questions. Oh, how do we add the videos? Yeah, actually, the way you add the videos is the way I'm going to show you, like same way you add the images. You basically just tell it where you want to add the video, anything like that. And then, yeah. How do you connect Lovable to Shopify? Super easy. You'll literally just come here, and then ask Lovable and be like, connect to Shopify, and then it's going to open up a dialog or box thingy where you click it, and then it's going to open your browser. You should be logged into Shopify already on your browser. And then once it opens there, you just click install. Very simple, literally 30-second step. So you literally will just tell Lovable after you've built everything, or before you build everything, once you've added your product to Shopify, you come here, you tell Lovable, I want you to connect this to Shopify and connect this product. And it's done. Why do you only use meta ads? Why are you making assumptions that I only use meta ads? No, I'm kidding. The reason why I mainly use meta ads is because Meta has so much data and information on people. You would be so surprised. You'd be so shocked. The reason why ads even work is because of that accuracy, right? Obviously, things are not perfect, but because of all of that data, because of the understanding of the consumer market that the meta platforms have, and also because the buying and the purchasing power on meta platforms in terms of impulse purchases are the best across all platforms, right? Because on Google is a search engine. So you go there when you're already looking for a product, you already have buying intent for a product. So that's also a really good platform to run ads. It's just a slightly more expensive because, like when somebody has buying intent, you're fighting with organics as well, right? So, okay, it's still doing it. It's not done. So yeah, that's the reason why I mainly run on meta ads. For each store on Shopify, do we have to always consult with payment gateways for each store? That would be the best thing to do. But if you're just testing some products, what I do, okay, let me tell you what I do. I have about I have about 5 local payment gateways and then one Stripe, which is the international one, right? That one, I already have the store that's running on it. It's proper. It's done. It's cool. All right. So these 5 South African ones, it's there's a Payfast, I have a Yoko, I have an Ozo, and then I have 2 Paystack accounts, right? One is for digital products and one is for physical products, right? So what I do is I use the Payfast to test products, right? And then once I have a winner, right, then I either keep it on the Payfast or I create a Paystack for it or whatever the case may be. Because reason being is because Paystack pays you on the next day. Yoko, same thing, right? So I differentiate. So you just have to know that, like, don't try to change too many stores, and when you do change the stores, just go on your portal on whichever payment gateway you're using and change the information and update it to show that you're now accepting payments from a new website, or whatever the case may be. Right. So does Lovable also add the FQA policies, or I have to? You can actually do that on Lovable, or you can go on Shopify and then they add it automatic. If you go to the very end by policies, there's automatic templates that you just click and add templates, and then you can come back on Lovable and say add the templates from Shopify. So literally the whole thing here, the cool thing about all of this is that you're literally just speaking to this thing. Look at the screen. Look at your screens, right? You saw I literally just spoke to Lovable, told it what to do. There we go. It's added the image now, looks cool. I didn't need to know any technical stuff or anything like that. I literally and these small things may look very minute to you, right? The reason why it was mind blowing to me, especially when I started learning this or when I figured this AI thing out, is because I understood the pain and time and effort it took to do all of this manually and to not even be able to get anything close to as good as this. Okay, I'm lying. I used to get really cool websites, but that's not the point. The point is to emphasize, the power of AI, right? Okay, yeah, you guys are flooding questions now. So I'm gonna stop. The last question that I've just answered is Provia, does Lovable also add FQA policies? So Damon, where do you register the domain for the website? Damon, so from Damon all the way to the very bottom, guys, please, if you can, please do me a favor. Just note those questions, right? And then at the very end, we'll come back to them. But I'm also going to leave the chat there so that I can remember to come back to you, Damon, and then answer the questions from there, right? So, yeah. I'm going to do that. And then where is Damon again? Okay, there's Damon. Okay, cool. And then I'll answer all the questions from there, right? Is that cool? Awesome. You have no choice. Okay, yeah. So there we are, right? We've made the website and everything. The landing page looks really cool, looks really clean. Obviously, from this point forth, you just go through it and you change the things that you want to change, either by telling it what to do, or there's this small nyana thing here that, for example, if I click this T here for text and I go up here, and like for example, this thing I hate it, and AI loves it so much. I remove it a lot so that my text doesn't look so AI. You know, um, let's say the price here is 9.99 and 1,999.99. Right? Okay, let's just say 2,000, for example. Right? Save 50%. Right? So that's another really cool thing about this is okay, so you click send there, and once you click send at the bottom, it makes the changes and it saves the changes that you just made. Right? So that's another really cool thing that you can also come and customize like on your own according to what you want to do exactly when it comes to text. So you don't have to tell it and be like, Esh, go to choose a size box where they say free delivery, medium, large, extra, and then change the price from, you don't have to do that. Right. So that's another really cool thing about this tool. Right. So yeah.